And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. I want to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, along with Bridgette Readel, our wonderful, talented Ag Director, and Wonder Boy. We haven't had him called Wonder Boy, meteorologist, Justin Storm.
He'd prefer that we not.
It's been about 4 days.
Welcome to January 78th.
Yeah, it's going great. Thanks a lot.
January's first day. Well, spring starts later this afternoon. First full day of spring is tomorrow.
You notice I'm giving you the eye like you lie.
Right. Well,
not even true.
Mother Nature is still drunk from St. Patty's Day, so she doesn't know. I mean,
aren't we all?
Once you hear this forecast, you might want to be.
Justin, is that why you're at home?
Yeah. That's a possibility.
There's reasons why I am immobile.
Right? See, more snows in the forecast. The winter storm watch is in effect for Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday night. Pretty quick moving storm system, but it just,
That's all we've had. Okay, when you say pretty quick moving storm system, that's like the fifth one. And you know what they do? They drop 4 or 5 inches of snow. Mm-hmm. Look, I hate to be a broken record here, but I'm sort of done.
I know.
Okay.
How do you think we feel?
But hated.
We got to say it multiple times a day.
People just, they're anti-weather dudes right now.
But you're going, go ahead, Justin.
Before you touch on that, what you're going towards, within regards to the LRC and what we were saying back in December, this was going to be a long winter and a below average winter for temperature wise. And here we are about to become the second longest winter, second longest streak without a day at 40 or above.
I'd stop right there. Don't say any more information.
Why?
Okay.
Because we're going to be giving away something based on that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fine.
I almost spilt the beans.
So
better than spilling the snow.
So tell you what,
you can't cry over spilt beans. You can over spilt milk.
Yeah. Now here's something that get you in a warmer mood. Is the rodeo is coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
So this is fun. If you've never been to the rodeo, and it's been years since I've been, but my first time I went, I'm like, wow, this is awesome.
So what were you like, mutton busting? Fun. That's right.
Nah.
Rode the sheep.
I could fit on it, but yeah.
That's why I asked.
So this wouldn't be your first rodeo?
Right.
This would not be my first rodeo.
That was the obvious joke there, Bridgette.
Nice work, Jace. Thank you. Thank you for running the board for us and chiming in with all of your good dad jokes.
But we want you to keep Jace. Jace is filling in today. He's our producer here behind the board, and we want him. We don't want him sitting back with his feet kicked up like he is now, having a martini.
It's so relaxing.
We want him put to work. So we've got 2 sets of rodeo tickets for Friday. It's for this Friday evening. It's 7:30. We'll give one away when you hear this sound. That's our Fisher-Price.
That's the Fisher-Price barn door move.
So when you hear that, be the 4th caller. How's that?
Fine.
Be the fourth caller when you hear that noise. When you hear that sound.
I will give you a hint. We will not do it during our guest today because that would be rude.
And the next set of tickets. So we've got 2 sets of 2. We're going to give away right now.
Okay,
If, again, this is for Friday's rodeo.
Okay.
If you can answer this question, and Justin almost spilled the beans. So we're at day 131 of not getting above 40 degrees. 131 stinking days not seeing 40.
Emphasizing that does not make it better.
By the end of this week, we'll be in second. We're in 4th place right now. By the end of this week, we'll be in 2nd place.
Of?
Having the longest streak of
history.
Okay.
Yeah. We want to get to 1st place.
Okay.
We don't like participation trophies. That's not how we roll.
I have cookies for you.
We want 1st place. What is and again, this is for a pair of rodeo tickets for Friday evening. Make sure you can use them. What is the longest stretch of not making it above 40? Again,
longest number of days without getting above 40.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, 701-293-9000. Jace, I just sent you the answer there.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So we're at 131 days right now. If you were listening to our shows earlier, you'll know the answer. Okay. What is our longest stretch of not making it above 40?
Okay, it's coming.
We're a ways away. I don't know if we'll see it. It might be close. It might be close. But go big or go home.
Goodness. All right, fine. Oh,
Yeah.
the people are calling in. They're hoping they've got the winning number.
Yep.
Right.
And it's got to be spot on. It's got to be the correct answer. So, 701-293-9000. We'll give those tickets away hopefully. Other than that, let's hit real quick on the forecast. Winter storm watch in effect for our area Tuesday, starting in the early afternoon. I don't think most of the snow. It's going to come mid to late afternoon, and this could affect your evening commute, the way it looks right now. But I think the heaviest snow is going to fall between about 7 p.m. and midnight. So if you have a late commute going home, you're going to get affected by this in terms of slippery travel. Snow continues through about midnight, but it should start to wind down after about 2, 3 in the morning. So by your morning commute on Wednesday, although all the snow will be done, we'll still see a little of blowing and drifting of the snow. The wind's not that strong with this, though. East-northeast, about 10 to 25. So that's not too bad. We can handle that. But that's enough to cause some blowing snow. And we will be looking at, again, slippery travel Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. It's not a huge storm. We're looking at about 3 to 5 inches. There will be some pockets of 6, maybe 7 in banding of the snow, but we just don't know exactly where that is going to set up. So a general 3 to 5. This winter storm watch will more than likely be changed to a winter weather advisory based on the current data that's coming in. It's just not quite going to reach winter storm warning criteria. I don't believe. We'll wait and see what the afternoon model runs show.
There is a contest out here for us that we could do with this. When those bands set up and he who gets the most snowfall, we could send you and Justin to move their snow for him. Oh, you laugh. You think I'm not going to actually do that?
$50 a driveway.
Where do you see my
That's what I
driveway?
charge.
Where do you see? All right. Yeah, we're doing one set of tickets. One set. That's 2 tickets for Friday night rodeo 7:30.
We got one set.
I gave one set away.
Oh, you did. Okay. Who was our winner?
It is Brenda, and she called in with the correct answer of 152.
Brenda, you're a good listener because that info is a little hard to dig up. So, congratulations, Brenda, on winning those tickets. Just swing by the studio here between normal business hours. You've got till Thursday to pick those up. Well, actually, let's set that at Thursday because if something happens, you can't use them. We want to be able to give them away.
Sure.
Like if there's bad weather.
Oh.
There won't be this week. No, yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
God.
Hey, this is weather and ag in focus.
Right.
So.
I'd like to focus on the ag now, please. Except we're going to give away 2 more tickets for the rodeo later this hour.
Yeah.
Yes, later. Yes. That's going to come with the sounder.
Yes, it will. Of the Fisher Price Barn.
Yeah, I was going to say. I didn't know if we needed to play it again.
No,
this is the Fisher Price Barn. So wait for that.
Yeah. So. When you hear the barn door.
Moo.
Moo.
Oh, I forgot to ring the bell for our winner. Cowbell for the winner.
There you go.
Thank you, Brenda. Appreciate it. All right, now that we are all thoroughly distracted and completely off track.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
That is exactly right.
There you go.
Always more cowbell. All right.
So Monday.
Justin, you always pick the ag headlines. What would you like to do today?
Let me grab my
cheat sheet.
My sheet. I actually have 4 of these because we have so many. I ain't going to go that far back. I won't put you on that big of the spot.
Okay.
But we are going back to last week, Bridgette. And this is one
okay.
I think that a lot of people might be interested in. So North Dakota Bison Processing Plant is expanding production. What can you tell me about this?
Well, first of all, pop quiz for you and Dean. Where is the North Dakota Bison Cooperative? Where do they process bison in the state? Not Edgeley.
Allendale.
It's not Bismarck.
Nope.
Cooperstown.
Nope. New Rockford. New Rockford, North Dakota, and Eddy County.
That was my 7th guess.
They have been in operation for about 20 years, and when they first started, they were going to do 5,000 head per year. With their current expansion, they're now going to go well over 11,000, and I'm doing this off memory without my notes, but they received an expansion grant from North Dakota for over $500,000 to help do that, because we are finding that post-pandemic, most folks are looking for more lean proteins. Bison is indeed one of them. They offer their protein primarily going to food services and restaurant supply, et cetera, but also it can still be bought in the grocery store. They have a brand name. I think it's called Tender Pride. It's got the name Tender in it. I'll have to look that up on our break. But the Bison Cooperative does indeed sell bison locally, and they bring in bison from 3 different states and Canada.
Now, question for you. So it's not cheap. It's
not a
expensive.
cheap protein.
Is it Is it more expensive to process the meat? Is that why it's more expensive, or what's?
You can't run the same kill line for cattle that you run for beef, because, or excuse me, for buffalo, because they're two different size. Mm-hmm. So because your equipment is bigger and different, that's why you're much more specialized in order to do that, because you wouldn't be able to just use the exact same equipment. It's a different setup.
It's a great tasting.
It's a great meat.
So good.
It's very lean. Yeah. Do not overcook it. That's terrible.
Yep.
You know, we had Butcher's Edge on a few weeks ago. Do they process bison? I don't remember if we asked them that question.
I don't think you asked them. Considering the size of their shop, based on what I know about Butcher's Edge, and this is at Edgeley, North Dakota, they would probably be able to do it on a special request, but I don't think it's one of their normal processing items. It's like they do for beef or for deer during our deer hunting season here in the state, that type of thing. So, and also I think they do sheep as well down there if you wanted to bring in lamb or sheep.
Yep, they do that. Should we throw another one in here quick, Bridgette?
Sure, what you got?
Oh, all right. Let's go farm campgrounds for extra money for $500, please.
All right. As a way to start looking at additional income on farm, you can be using a couple of apps. They're kind of like Airbnbs. One was called Dirt, D-Y-R-T. The other was called Hip Camp. And if you are a farmer and you are willing to allow people to either primitive or RV camp on your place and get the full farm experience, you can sign up to do that. And if you're out traveling like you might do for national parks, you can stay at farms. Some farms will give you more of an experience in allowing you to be in the dairy barn or riding the equipment, but oftentimes it's simply a place to park and just enjoy the fact that you're outside of a major metropolitan area, et cetera. Can be anywhere from primitive camping. Some may have water and power hookups, but it's an additional way to bring a little extra income in on the farm. Kind of a different deal.
Great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Interesting. Huh.
And also,
who would have guessed?
And kind of switching topics a little bit. So Justin put a lot of work into this. So I want to give him kudos. Okay. Great job, Justin. If you want to follow along, we just Justin just put up our new LRC calendar, going all the way out through July. Log on to our website, WDAYradionow.com, and you can kind of follow along on when these storms might hit, when the wet patterns will be, when the dry patterns will be for this upcoming spring and summer season. So he put a lot of work into this. So good job, bud.
He really did.
It looks really, really good. I think
Does it look professional?
Yes.
As professional as you can make it, absolutely.
All right, then I'm still... all right, I was going to say, well, then I'm not drunk from St. Patrick's Day, but if it's as professional as I can be...
Yeah.
That was the most backhanded grandma comment that you could possibly have given.
That was like one of those compliments where you give a little, but you take a little back after you give it.
Did it sting when he slapped you like that, Justin? Goodness. Okay.
As hard as it's going to sting when I slap him.
we might have to give him a little bit of raise.
Oh, fine. All right.
If Hallstrom's listening, let's give this kid a raise, would you?
Yeah, he gets more Hershey Kisses in his bowl at the end of the day. There you go. All right. So
thank you, Mom.
You're welcome. All right. Let's move on to the fact that we have a guest coming up. We're going to be visiting with Kevin Charleston. He is with Specialty Risk Insurance. We got lots of questions for him about agribusinesses, livestock, et cetera. I made a connection with Kevin when I was at National Cattlemen's Beef Association's meeting in New Orleans back in February. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back, and we're going to talk about some specialty risk insurance with Kevin Charleston.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Hello there. My name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you know you're gonna get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
You like the movie? At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing our network to help keep your business moving. With new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features, and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/moving forward.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let BCI Bath & Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective BCI Bath & Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month, or no interest, no payments for 18 months. For a limited time, be one of the first 100 callers who schedule a free in-home consultation and receive $500 off. Call 800-721-9985 for a free no-obligation price quote. That's 800-721-9985. Factory-trained and certified installers made in the USA, and discounts for seniors and military. BCI Bath & Shower, the leader in affordable bathroom products. That's 800-721-9985.
Spring has sprung, and you know what that means, Fargo-Moorhead. Time to start cleaning up after old man winter. And what better way to kick off spring season than fixing or replacing your broken or damaged windshield? The team at Glass Doctor Fargo-Moorhead, they're concerned about your well-being, so hurry in. Say hello to crystal clear view of spring potholes and construction signs. And lucky you, Glass Doctor won't break the bank, so you can still buy groceries. Glass Doctor of Fargo-Moorhead. Don't let those chips and cracks become a pain in your glass.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your pains.
At Comfort King, we build the world's best mattresses to help you sleep. We invented the Lifetime Comfort Guarantee to help you sleep. Comfort King invented Float Gel, the most comfortable cushion on the planet, to help you sleep. When you visit our showroom, we can show you how wonderful it is to sleep in zero gravity.
I'm in zero gravity right now, and I may never get out of bed.
Come to Comfort King. We've got the sleep. Are you sleeping? This happens all the time.
Did you know that just about everything we eat, wear, and use comes from American agriculture? During National Ag Week, Satram Hayam Seed is your local full-service seed dealer in Page. They salute the men and women in agriculture that keep us going. Contact Satram Hayam Seed for all your seed requirements, sales, service, and treatment and custom cleaning too. Proudly serving the area farm since 1978, Satram Hayam Seed. Online at satramhayamseed.com.
Hello and welcome to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Bridgette Readel, Ag Director, along with Meteorologist Extraordinaire Justin Storm and Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki. And I don't know, that little tune always sounds spring-like, which is not what we're doing here in North Dakota, gentlemen. Thanks ever so much.
It'll get here.
It'll get better.
It'll get here.
Soon this background behind us will be less white and a lot more green. That's what I'm going with.
That's May.
That's May. Shh. All right, here's a positive. We're going to visit with Kevin Charleston with Specialty Risk Insurance. I had the opportunity to meet Kevin when I was at the National Cattle and Beef Association meeting down in New Orleans, and they offer insurance in some areas that are a little bit different than what we might normally see or talk about. So, Kevin, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Tell us about your business.
We're down here in Carthage, Missouri, but we operate in probably 40, 45 states around the country. But we do have a department that does farm insurance. We have a department that does livestock insurance, whether it being from a horse, equine policy, to livestock on the pasture, to cattle in a feedlot, to a packing house standing in a packing house. And then we have a commercial agribusiness department, which actually does a lot of the feedlots, the livestock auctions, grain elevators, anything agriculture from basically the dirt to the plate and anything in between. And then we have our department as well. So
I really like that. Anything from the dirt to the plate. That's actually pretty awesome way to explain it. So part of the discussion that you and I had last summer, we're aware of what happened in Kansas on the feedlot where cattle died due to a combination of factors that happened with heat stress, etc. Kevin, this is fairly new. How does someone go about insuring against that loss? How can you predict any of that, or give me more details on how that actually works?
Ever since that's happened, we've been in the talks with our partners in London and a few other companies trying to build a product for that very thing, because it's kind of like a blizzard in the feedlot industry. It happens about typically once every 5 to 7 years, and it's that's way more localized. When a heat event happens, it's usually 50 to 70 mile radius total, where a blizzard can be a little bit wider. So we're trying to finish our product up right now to accommodate the market for that. We feel like it's the same event like a blizzard would be in a feedlot, but only it happens at about the same increments, about once every 7 or 8 years. So we're trying to figure out. Hopefully we're down to just a few days from that product being able to come out where we can take that product and say, listen, if we have a heat index of so much, it's so hot, and the heat index is so high, and these cattle start dying from the heat. We give you about a 72-hour window on that product for those cattle. It's the same thing for a blizzard. When an event happens in a blizzard, it's about 72 hours from when we stop paying for the cattle that die from that event. So we're trying to finish that product up where I think I'm about a phone call, maybe 2 phone calls away from having that put in place. We had it, I thought, almost approved last spring after that happened in Southwest Kansas. But it turned to 103 in London, and they don't have air conditioners in London, so they thought global warming had came on them.
Wow.
And Kevin, let me know and maybe I heard this wrong. So you can supply that insurance, a livestock insurance, up to 72 hours before the event. Was that correct?
No. We can do it. We usually kind of have if we know an event's going to happen, but usually once like a blizzard hits or a heat event hits, we call that one event one deductible from the point that happens, and for 72 hours. And then it would be a separate event past that if it happens again. So typically those extremes only last for 1 to 2 days in heat or a blizzard type thing, sometimes a week after the blizzard. But the actual blizzard was actually about a day and a half. And then what happens after that, we cover anything that happens for about 3 days after that. So.
Okay, so a follow-up question. So we use, I don't know if you're familiar with the LRC. It's a new way, it's a new model that forecasts long-term. It forecasted Hurricane Ian 6 months in advance. It can also forecast heat waves, blizzards, droughts, whatnot. So if we know, we'll just throw this out as an example. If we know there's going to be a major heat wave in Kansas during, let's say, July 10th through July 20th, so a 10-day span of extensive heat. If we wanted to purchase the insurance for that, how soon, what kind of a window to purchase that? So if we're using the LRC and we know, all right, it's coming in that 10-day span, we can purchase it for those 10 days. Is that correct?
No.
You can't?
No.
Okay, so it's not that special.
No,
okay.
You have to buy a year. You have to buy a full year's worth.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we're only going to offer it in the beginning we have a lot of feedlots already insured, and so our existing customers would be on the first offering of it. And so by midsummer, later summer, we'll be able to open it up to the rest of the country, hopefully by late next year. But the modeling is a big piece of it, and so they spend a lot of time modeling our current customers, whether from Pratt, Kansas, or Garden City, or north of there 30, 40 miles, or down in Amarillo, to whatever location. We've kind of modeled the weather out for the summer. And so when we sell you that policy, you have to buy 12 months at a time, because nobody wants to buy heat in the winter.
Yeah, good point.
I don't sell you blizzard insurance in January. It's a 12-month kind of deal typically, especially with the heat piece. And it'll be a little bit more limited coverage than a lot of our blizzard coverages would be, just because it's a new product and we're trying to figure out how to underwrite this thing. So we got to figure out how to make it work.
And Kevin, the whole premise of wanting to visit with you today is there are some aspects in agriculture, especially if about 50% of our audience is urban here in the Fargo-Moorhead region, but there's some aspects in agriculture that need to be insured that may or may not be a surprise to a lot of people. This is going to be some questions that we're going to ask about some very unique situations and how that actually works for our livestock producers and our agribusiness. And it's 1:30 in the afternoon. We're at the bottom of the hour. We're going to continue our conversation here just shortly with Kevin Charleston with Specialty Risk Insurance. We're going to keep asking him about all the crazy things that can happen in agriculture. Talk to you shortly.
Don't worry about it. Just take it to Bailey's.
Hi, I'm Rinda, and we have teenage drivers. Therefore, we have had the opportunity, or should I say opportunities, to utilize many of the services that Bailey's has to offer. From minor scratches to major dent repairs, the team at Bailey's does not disappoint. They work with our busy schedules and within our budget. We love Bailey's so much that we give their detailing packages as gifts as well.
Check out Bailey's Auto Body for your collision repair needs at Bailey'sAutoBody.com.
Just take it to Bailey's.
Farmers know a thing or two about being tough, and they hold their wheat to that same standard. Their fields need to be able to take on anything, because there's no telling what tomorrow has in store. That's why Westbred brand wheat offers varieties like the new WB 9606, offering good stress tolerance, and WB 9719, offering outstanding yield potential and excellent standability. Meet your standards of excellence. Plant Westbred. Performance may vary.
When it comes to cereal disease protection, Prosaro Pro 400 SC fungicide from Bayer makes all the difference. With 3 effective active ingredients for overlapping control of foliar and head diseases, and a flexible application window for head scab, it's formulated to lower DON, protect yield potential, and promote superior grain quality. Prosaro Pro, the future of plant health starts here. Visit ProsaroPro.com to learn more. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
They'll have you laughing right along with them. They're Bonnie and Friends.
Real masquerade party? I think I would do it.
I would too.
Who would you go as?
I don't know.
Because you got to really do it
I
up on
can't carry that off. I'd have like a mask that you hold in your hand with sparkles on it and like a little foo-foo with feathers coming out of my head.
No.
I wouldn't look like anybody.
Somebody out there could dress you to the nines in a costume and nobody would know until you open your mouth. Of course, they'd know it was you. You know.
That's true.
Bonnie and Friends. Catch them weekday mornings beginning at 5.
Now is the perfect time to upgrade your kitchen with new appliances from Regal's. Get up to $2,000 back on select GE Profile appliances now through June 1st, featuring the latest smart home technology, providing a simpler and smarter cooking and cleaning experience. Smart technology meets unbeatable prices, plus free delivery and free recycling of your old appliances. Find out why for over 75 years Regal's has delivered value. Regal's, 609 Main Avenue, Moorhead.
What do eyewear and weather have in common? Join us for the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast to find out. Each Tuesday morning, Dean Wysocki, Justin Storm, and myself, Ashley Freeborn, owner of Aspire Optical, will bring you the 7-day forecast.
You never know where we'll be or how it will be presented, but we promise to bring you the most accurate forecast this side of the Red River.
And learn how you can save big on eyewear from Aspire Optical.
Watch the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages.
Trust us, this is weather and eyewear like you've never seen.
It's wild. It's unpredictable. It's back. Shooting Star Casino presents Coors PRCA Championship Rodeo. Friday, March 24th and Saturday, March 25th, 7:30 each night in the Fargo Dome. Top professional contestants from across the nation going head-to-head with the award-winning stock of Mossbrook Rodeos in 7 head-slamming, bone-jamming events and dance each night at Cowboy Jack's. Get tickets at the Fargo Dome box office or Ticketmaster.com. Kids are half price. Coors PRCA Championship Rodeo. March 24th and 25th in the Fargo Dome, where 8 seconds is a lifetime. Sponsored by Holiday Inn Express and your local Ram dealer.
Trinidad Benham is your local bean producer and marketer in Colgate, North Dakota. They're a leading marketer of dry edible beans offering various varieties, and their diverse product offerings allow them to bring more to the customer. Not only do we use the latest crop management techniques and processes to produce and distribute the highest quality beans, we offer the strategic positioning to grow your business with our experienced field representatives, knowledgeable traders, and advanced technology. Contact Trinidad Benham for your 2023 growing season contracts. Online at trinidadbenham.com.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. 1:34 this afternoon. We're speaking with Kevin Charleston of Security Risk Insurances for Livestock. And if you'd like to join in on our conversation, ask Kevin or us a question, please feel free to do so. Reach out to us, 701-293-9000. Again, that phone number on the screen for those watching on Acres TV or YouTube or Facebook Live. weather, or ag at flagfamily.com is the email, as well as, again, the phone number 701-293-9000. Now, Kevin, I was wondering, what is livestock risk protection? What is this, and how can it be a tool to help manage risk?
Basically, we've this market kind of last week fell back a little with everything going on in the banking industry. I think we probably put 5,000 steers on there for August cattle for people last week that called in. And what they did when they called in last week, the market shifted a little bit. I'm just going to give you an example to start with, and kind of we'll work backwards from there. But the market kind of fell off there the first 2 days of last week. And basically, this is crop insurance for cattle.
Okay.
Because it's subsidized by the government. It's basically a put in a rent, and that's a very broad statement, but it's a put that's subsidized by federally subsidized. So like last week, we did a lot of those August cattle, and I'm kind of going on memory, like for 214 or 218, I can't remember exactly. And it cost them $4 or $5 a hundred, depending on what level they bought. Well, a year ago, they would have been $1.98, $1.96, probably end up selling out in the low 90s or high 80s. Yeah, and I'm going on memory on some of that stuff. But basically, we could put an option in there. You go in there and you have to fill out a 2-page application. It's like a crop insurance application. And you tell me how many cattle, well, up to 12,000 on any one contract, that you want to set up for the dates you want them to come out. And we set a price, or you could buy a price that comes out after 4 o'clock every day. From the USDA, from 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock tomorrow morning is the same price till the market opens again tomorrow. And so you can pick that price that you want to set your cattle at, and you can find that formula, and that's the price that you're going to get against the CME index. So keep in mind, it doesn't matter what your cattle bring at the end of the day. Your cattle might be worth $20 a hundred more than the board is, or $20 less, but whatever it is you started with, your cattle will still be in that same category when you sell them. That's up to you to market your cattle at the end of the day. All we're going to do is, the CME index is a 12-state average of all the sale barns in the United States, and it's a 7-day average up to the date you have picked on your policy for your cattle on the board of trade. And basically, whatever the index settles out against, if it's less, you get paid. If your premium was less than the difference between the two. If it's more, then you got to pay the premium, and your cattle are worth more. So that makes up the difference on the other side. But once you buy it, you don't get in or out of it like a put. You can release those options. You can trade in or out of that position. Once you put this in place, it is what it is. And now, last summer they did release some of these early because of the drought, but you can sell your cattle up to 60 days early and not lose your position with the board out here where you want it to be. But like one of the examples we used last weekend, we do every Wednesday, we send out a report, and you can sign up at specialtyrisk.ag for that, and you can get that kind of the midweek report on what's going on out there and some of the things that we see were buy. One of the things that we saw was a buy last week. So your calves are being born right now. Mm-hmm. Just say in October they're going to weigh 550, 575. We could do 243 on those calves right now. 242, give her in the high 30s, low 40 range, where a year ago, that would have been $190, $185.
Sure.
Pretty good spot to be in right now. And you don't have to buy at the maximum level. Just say you wanted to buy, say it's cost you $5 a hundred at 550 pounds for October. Well, you can go back to 230. And this is just, like I said, a range.
Right.
It might cost you $1.50 a hundred, or $8 or $9 a steer or a heifer to put that in there. It's very minimal if you just want to put a floor in there to protect yourself. Mm-hmm. But with fertilizer and your input costs like they are today, it's a great opportunity to protect yourself.
You know what I just learned out of all that, Kevin? That if we're ever going to get Dean Wysocki into the cattle industry, he's going to have a lot to learn and spend more time with you. That's why this is a specialty insurance. This is, and for us who are mostly in the grain industry, this makes a lot of sense, right? Because we, like you said, we can do this as a comparison of how you do your crop insurance. But now, also, your only focus isn't just strictly in livestock. Y'all do some agribusiness insurance as well, too.
We do a lot of agribusiness. Yes.
So here's where my question runs. I've had this from a couple of, and I'm going to call them large farmer cooperatives, where they are not only handling grain, but fertilizer, chemical, seed, and probably propane, some sort of fuel or energy department. And they're having a hard time finding insurance companies to insure them because the costs have gone up so tremendously for potential for claims, so that their premiums have gone up quite substantially. Have you seen that as well? And any indication as to why there are less and less folks that want to insure that kind of a business?
Well, there was probably only about 5 or 6 in the U.S. anyway, and now it's narrowed down to about 3.
Okay.
And so part of that was the reinsurance market got really hard, and basically that's insurance the insurance companies buy because of some of the fertilizer. But the other part of it is the ag sector is really big, but it's gotten really narrow, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And so there's not as many as there were at one time. So the companies there's a few less companies than there used to be. But it's 3 or 4 main companies that do all of that. As far as the company, there's brokers like me that are intermediaries.
Okay.
They're all over the country. But there's the actual insurance companies got a little tighter, and the claims were pretty tough. The last year and a half, really 2 years, about 2.5, almost 3 years, I guess now since COVID started. To fix something, a $40,000 fix 3 years ago is now probably $120,000 fix.
That's true. All of our costs.
We didn't triple your premium.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep, it does.
So we didn't triple your insurance premium, and we're having trouble making up for it. It's the same in all industries right now. The cost of doing business is getting pretty high.
Yeah, absolutely it does. And like you said, some of these specialty things, just a lot more risk that goes along with them. The replacement costs can be pretty tremendous, especially with older facilities that need updating and so forth. When you think back, how long have you been in the insurance business, Kevin?
27 years.
Oh, you've seen some things. So what's the most surprising claim that's come across your desk? Anything come to mind?
Oh, we see certain things. Some of the fires we've seen through the years that can turn into a pretty small event. But I'm trying to give you we've seen so many odd things happen throughout the years that the littlest things, like a vibration in a boiler, that they don't make a flex tube between 2 locations. So we have a $2 million fire because of a piece of tubing this long.
Whoa.
18 inches long, because the vibration is different in the floor of the boiler.
Right.
You know what I mean? The little things you don't think of in life that where we burned down a corner of a facility and a $1.5 million boiler and a $500,000 building with it just over a piece of pipe this long.
I really appreciate you saying that, because we have gotten a lot of questions in this show and in some of our morning shows about, do we think that there are more fires, and is there literally sabotage in some of our ag processing facilities? But like you said, sometimes it's the simplest thing that caused the biggest damage.
Yes, it most of the time is. It's not. I mean, there are things that are going on in the industry, and I get that conversation is probably a whole different conversation than this. But most of the time, it's some small thing that triggered a large event for something that as simple as some guy was tired that morning and he didn't wire the light up right, and put the ground in the wrong spot and caused a fire over time. Little things cause the biggest fires for us, or problems for us.
And Kevin, are you? Go ahead, Justin.
Go ahead, Dean.
Right.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of unique claims and things that do happen, weather can be a huge relating factor to insurance claims as well. And I was wondering if these two things that I'm going to mention, if they're separate, if it's together, how the claims or how insurance on this go along with it or how it even works. But, when we get big thunderstorms that come through, and this happens occasionally, and your cattle are out in the field, you get a lightning strike, it hits some of your cattle, and next thing you know, you got 5, 10, 15 dead because of a lightning bolt, or say you have a baseball-sized or a grapefruit-sized hailstone that falls out of the sky and hits a cow right in the head. How does that work in the insurance world and claiming for that? Are those things that you have to get separate options for, or is there just like a standard, hey, my cow died from a lightning strike, this falls under a weather category? How does that work and look like?
Well, the majority of all of our livestock insurance, would pick that up. That's a name: wind, lightning, hail, fire, theft. Those are pretty standard parts of any policy, livestock policy. We then try and elevate it. We have a lot of areas that feed a lot of silage now to a lot of feeder cattle. They wean their calves and grow them out. So then we put in basically, for lack of a better term, poisoning. So they get high nitrate in their silage, and they poison their cattle. Or like we had a drought down here last year, and I think you guys had a little bit of the same thing up there. We put a lot of fertilizer out. The fertilizer sits there all summer, doesn't get used. We catch a rain, and then we look up, and this Bermuda grass jumps up 5 inches in a day and a half. We kick cattle out there, and they get nitrate poisoning from the grass. So there's different levels of coverage. Yes, those are pretty simple. We just get the value of the calf and work out with the cow or calf and work it out with the customer and get it paid. And that's not that complicated a claim to get taken care of. Pretty simple at that point.
And Kevin, have you found that there's more and more ranchers and just anybody in the ag community that they're kind of gravitating towards this, I call it specialized insurance, or is it still kind of a hard sell?
We're not as different as you might think. There's a lot of people out there that sell farm and ranch policies like we do around the country. But these guys are more leveraged, and their bankers are on my side. They want to make sure those cattle are protected, those buildings, the property, and then these guys that are running, they're running all their grass cattle in the summer. They've got to be pretty, and a lot of them will be in the market, in the commodity market, buying and selling, futures on that. But this is a simpler product for a lot of guys that don't think that way. They don't want to go out in the market and try and buy LRP. A put in a call and try and figure that all out, where they can just call us and we can do an LRP contract and they can put it to bed and walk away. And the emotion leaves with this, because once you pick it, it's over.
Right.
It is what it is at that point. So there's 3 or 4 different areas there we work in. But yes, it's the more leveraged in the agriculture is, and the bigger operators have a lot of leverage. But even if you're a small operator, you still have $3 or $4 million in debt at a minimum. So
that is absolutely the truth. And just want to say thank you, Kevin, for joining us again. This has been Kevin Charleston. He's with Specialty Risk Insurance. He's talking to us from Carthage, Missouri. I can honestly say I've been to Carthage. Not many people can probably say that, but I actually have, long ago in my high school days. So thank you again for joining us today, Kevin. We're going to catch up with the American Ag Network, take a check at those markets, and everyone can join us right after that.
Foston Tri-Co-op is hiring an agronomy manager. Must have sales and agronomy experience, able to sell crop protection, fertilizer, and chemicals. College degree in agronomy or equal experience is preferred. Enjoy competitive salary and benefits including health, long-term disability, dental, life insurance, HAS, paid vacation, and retirement match and profit sharing. Email resume to jen.howard@fostoncoop.com or call 218-435-6919 and ask for Brent. Foston Tri-Co-op, hiring an agronomy manager, and it could be you.
Are you tired of woke investment firms trying to push their political agenda onto your money? This is Brian Kronk, financial advisor at Collins & Kronk here in Fargo. If you are through with big East Coast companies and their ESG agenda, call Collins & Kronk for a consultation. See how we build a plan based on what matters to you. Call Collins & Kronk today, 701-235-0119. That's 701-235-0119. At Collins & Kronk, you matter.
Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member, FINRA, SIPC. Collins & Kronk is not a broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services.
Olivet Lutheran Church in Fargo invites you to join us for worship Sunday mornings at 8:30 and 10:30 and Wednesday evenings at 6. During this time of Lent, our theme is No Greater Love, where we will reflect on God's love for us through the death of Jesus on the cross. Our sanctuary is also open Wednesdays during lunch for individual reflection and prayer, where you can light a candle, leave a prayer at the cross, or simply be still. For more information and to watch all of our services online, go to olivet.org.
The city of Carrington, North Dakota is accepting applications for a full-time police officer. Applicants must be North Dakota Post Board licensed and licensable. Salary $50,000 to $65,000 depending on experience. Go to carringtonnd.com for an application. Resume and references are a must. If law enforcement is what you're looking for in a beautiful city like Carrington, North Dakota, apply for this full-time police officer position today. Call 701-652-3388 with any questions.
Jesse Allen here, being joined now by Mark Lucas of StoneX. Mark, as we take a look at Monday's trade across commodities, pretty quiet. Seems like the headwinds are there from the outside market concerns, the Fed meeting this week, the banking worries. Also, this energy market, though, crude oil down at 15-month lows, and I'd have to think all of that is just creating this headwind and not giving us a chance to really rally much in this grain trade.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people, including myself, who this morning, starts looking through the news and just kind of hoping there's not any new banking sector issues. And that really has the market kind of walking on pins and needles here. And hopefully that's kind of behind us. But, there's some news, Credit Suisse, over the weekend, looks like UBS came in and to bail them out. And Credit Suisse, had that not getting taken care of, that's a big outfit and would certainly have global ramifications in the credit markets if that didn't get taken care of. So the big question is, what's the Federal Reserve going to do this week? With the banking issues going on, they've ratcheted up rates at a fairly fast clip. Things are starting to break as a result of it. And yet, if 2% is their level that they want to get to, they haven't ratcheted them high enough yet. And so it's a matter of them walking a fine line. How much further do we go before we break more stuff?
And on the energy side, as I mentioned, 15-month lows in crude. I'm sure watching that as well and how that impacts commodities.
Correct. Here we are at some pretty low levels on crude that we didn't think we'd see this year. And it's going to be tough, I think, right now for corn and beans to do much. They're not always correlated, but I think with just a general risk-off scenario, they all get thrown into the same basket with the crude and the grains kind of being on the soft side of things overall.
That's Mark Lucas of StoneX on the American Ag Network.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. We want to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon. Let's do a quick recap of the weather. And again, a winter storm watch officially in effect for tomorrow afternoon into Wednesday morning. Now, a little bit of question whether we reached a criteria to bump this up to a winter storm warning. If not, we'll have a winter weather advisory. We'll have one or the other reissued as we head probably into later this afternoon. Expecting that snow. Today's a quiet day. Temperatures will top out in the 20s. Could see a few low 30s in the tree country off in Minnesota. But other than that, a quiet day today. Clouds increase tonight. Tomorrow, we'll see snow overspread the area by your evening rush. So by late afternoon, we'll start to see that snow spread in from the southwest. That will overspread the area as we head into the overnight hours. It'll be out of here probably by 2 in the morning. Pretty quick moving, but it's going to drop some periods of heavy snow from about 7 p.m. to midnight tomorrow. So that'll be the key part of the heaviest part of the storm. Winds not overly strong with this. About 10 to 25 out of the northeast. So we will see some blowing snow as we head into Wednesday morning.
Did you notice how our perspective changed? Before it'd be like, 20-mile-an-hour wind, it's going to blow snow. Now we're like, 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's only 20 miles.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not your 30 to 40-mile-an-hour winds.
I just had one comment about that forecast, though, Dean.
What?
That's depressing. Why did you bring that up?
Right?
I mean, just enough.
I know.
I mean.
It's the first day of spring, Jace. Yay. That means we're going to need callers.
Yeah, put Jace back.
Caller number 4.
Caller number 4.
Caller number 4.
Those are for 2 tickets to the rodeo
Friday night.
Hey, let me see those tickets. Is this the PRCA or what are we looking at here?
It is the PRCA.
PRCA.
It is.
Okay.
So caller number 4 for, again, these are tickets for Friday evening's
7:30
rodeo show. 7:30.
In Fargo.
Yep, in Fargo.
All right, you got to be able to pick them up on Thursday.
Yep.
Currently, Justin is calling us so he can get
I'm calling
tickets.
to win. I'm calling to win.
So we're looking at all the weather. The weather will be improved by the end of the week. Don't worry about it. This storm is expected to drop about 3 to 6 inches of snow over the area. There's only going to be a few select spots, 6 inches. It's wherever the banding sets up. I think the rest of us pick up a general 3 to 5 inch snow. Again, where there's banding, we could have 6, 7 inches of snow. It's just where that banding sets up is still a little bit in question. We won't know until it actually starts to set up on radar. Then we can pinpoint. So a general 3 to 6 inch snowfall. It will affect your morning. It'll affect your evening commute a little bit tomorrow. And then even though the snow will be done on Wednesday morning commute, still expect slippery travel.
You know, every time you say banding, all I think about is we're in calving season. And like, that's one way to castrate bull calves. To band them.
Banding.
Just saying.
If we get any more of these banding snow events, I'm going to be the one that gets castrated. Trust me.
People are unhappy.
Hey,
all right.
Are you going to answer my phone call here?
No, I'm not answering your phone call, Justin. We do have another winner.
Who is?
Is Janae. She won the second set of tickets, so we'll have those for her here at the station. So congratulations, Janae, and that's all the calls I can take right now.
Now, this isn't Janae that works here, is it?
No, it is not. It's a different Janae, and if it is Janae, she did a good job of disguising her voice.
So congratulations. You know what? We might be able to dig up a couple more pairs of tickets before the week is done. We might give away another pair later this week.
You better go start sucking up to get free tickets out of somebody.
I know. So after the snow event...
Oh, good for you. Good job, guys.
Thanks.
After the snow event goes through for tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, the weather stays unseasonably cool through the rest of the week. 20s, maybe some low 30s, with another chance of a snow system coming our way latter part of the weekend. We'll have to wait and see. And then according to the LRC calendar, a bigger one possible towards the end of the month. So we're just, we just can't shake winter, and it just doesn't. You know, just when you think winter is might be done, then it comes back in the room and says, "There's one more thing."
Yeah, hold my beer. Watch this.
Not quite done
You
yet.
see, we got a term for that up here. It's called fake spring, and we experience this phenomena about 3 times between the months of March and April.
It was nice in January. Just saying.
It really was.
Thanks for that, Bridgette.
Anytime. Glad to help.
Right?
Okay, so
It
all of
wasn't
this.
half bad February either.
It wasn't. All this snow is going to lead to water with the melt, runoff, etc. Which brings me to this little headline. The House of Representatives passed a Waters of the United States Resolution of Disapproval. This is WOTUS. And prior to the passage, the chairman of the House Committee on Agriculture, who is Glenn Thompson from Pennsylvania, he had some fairly strong remarks, which I really like. Go get him, dude. Nice. He said, I've traveled in the last 2 years to 40 different states to hear from producers and their challenges, burdensome regulations, record high inflation and input costs, supply chain disruptions. Now you can add egregious government land grab. Make no mistake about it. This rule isn't about clean water. It is the EPA's appetite for power. America's farmers, ranchers, and landowners deserve a Waters of the U.S. definition that is fair to agriculture and maintains the historical reach of the Clean Water Act. Woo! That's big news from a politician.
Well, and is anything like that in the Farm Bill, in the new Farm Bill?
This would be separate. Okay,
It would
so
be,
it wouldn't
okay.
be built into the Farm Bill. The Clean Waters Act dates back to like 1972, and it started with Obama's administration that was overturned in Trump's. It's coming back in Biden's, where they are trying to put a more restrictive definition of waters of the U.S. So if you have a pond in your backyard, Dean, to go along with your cow and your chickens, et cetera,
And the goat.
but it drains to, say, the Maple River or the Red, that could be considered a tributary water, which then EPA wants to be able to legislate what you can or can't do with that. And a lot of this stems from a case in Idaho. There's a family, their last name is Sackett. They wanted to do some drainage on private property and were then shut down by Army Corps of Engineers, et cetera. So it has been an ongoing battle.
Now, do you think our ag community does a lot more now than it did back in the 70s for soil health, for just, you know?
Oh, absolutely. We have made some tremendous changes just for erosion control.
So we've got to change this bill.
Well,
it has to be.
There's a lot of overreach in this, at least what was recently put through by EPA. And so that's why this ag committee wants to overturn that.
Jeez, man.
There's always something from the government.
Well, anytime their mitts are into our pockets or trying to run things, usually that's when things go. The train comes off the track,
And
literally.
I'm not anti-government, but I do firmly believe that it's all about making sure things are fair and just, and overreach is not something any of us wants to see.
Exactly. Well, that'll about do it for us today. We want to thank you for joining us on Weather and Ag in Focus. Hope you have a great afternoon. Again, get the snow shovels, get the snow blowers ready. More snow on the way for tomorrow night. So for Justin, for myself, and for Bridgette, thanks for joining us. Tune back in tomorrow from 1 to 2 for Weather and Ag in Focus.
970 WDAY AM and 93.1 FM, Fargo-Moorhead.